denies reports that Trump lawyers thought Kushner should step down. Washington, CNN. The White House is refuting reports that some of President Donald Trump's legal team had advised that his son-in-law Jared Kushner step down from his role as White House advisor. Sources familiar with the matter told CNN the White House legal team discussed during the spring whether Kushner ought to step aside in order to protect the president from legal scrutiny over his associates' interactions with Russians. But White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said Tuesday there was certainly no presentation on the issue, when asked if the lawyers discussed that option. No conversation that I was aware of, Sanders said. The Wall Street Journal first reported Monday that some of Trump's legal team believed Kushner should have stepped aside before reports about his failure to disclose contacts with Russians during the transition became public this summer. But one source tells CNN the idea was only brought up briefly in May, and others disagreed strongly with the suggestion that Kushner should step aside. The source claimed no knowledge that the idea was ever brought to Trump. The source said that Kushner addressed the issue convincingly, pointing to Kushner's handling of the revelations as proof that having him step down made no sense. Although not unanimous in their conclusion that Kushner, a senior advisor to the president and the husband of his daughter, Ivanka Trump, should step down, the Wall Street Journal reported that some of the lawyers did voice their concerns to the president. People familiar with the matter told the Wall Street Journal that staffers had begun to prepare a statement in case Kushner did ultimately resign. Kushner did not resign, however, and remains at the White House. Trump attorney John Dowd denied the report, telling the paper that to my knowledge that line of thinking was never brought forth to the president. I didn't agree with that view at all. I thought it was absurd, Dowd told the Journal. I made my views known. Mark Kasowitz, Trump's personal lawyer, also issued a statement to the Wall Street Journal denying the report. I never discussed with other lawyers for the president that Jared Kushner should step down from his position at the White House. I never recommended to the president that Mr. Kushner should step down from that position, and I am not aware that any other lawyers for the president made any such recommendation either. The paper reported that some of Trump's lawyers were largely concerned with the fact that Kushner had the most interaction with Russians, some of whom are being investigated, while on the campaign and during the transition. Lawyers also noted that Kushner failed to accurately report his contact with foreign officials when applying for his security clearance, according to the Wall Street Journal's report. The allegation that Russia attempted to meddle in the 2016 U.S. presidential election has led to several probes into the extent of the interference, and whether Trump's campaign had any involvement. This includes multiple investigations in Congress, as well as a Justice Department investigation led by Special Counsel Robert Mueller. Over the summer, Kushner submitted a statement to congressional committees, in which he denied any collusion with any foreign government. I did not collude, nor know of anyone else in the campaign who colluded with any foreign government, he said. CNN and Stan Marco contributed to this report.
Tonight, word that White House attorneys discussed Jared Kushner stepping down as senior advisor in the spring to protect the president during the Russia probe, according to sources. The Wall Street Journal first reported the development. The main worry, that Kushner was the advisor closest to the president, who had many contacts with Russian officials and business leaders during the campaign and transition.
The record and documents I have voluntarily provided will show that all of my actions were proper.
Kushner briefed Senate Intelligence Committee staff in late July about 4 meetings with the Russians, saying he spoke briefly with Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak at D.C.'s Mayflower Hotel in April 2016 at Donald Trump's first foreign policy speech, met with Kislyak again at Trump Tower on December 1, 2016 during the transition, met with Russian bank chairman Sergei Gorkov on December 13th, and attended the June 2016 meeting with a Russian lawyer and others arranged by Donald Trump Jr. at Trump Tower. Kushner hadn't disclosed the June 2016 Trump Tower meeting until his third amended security clearance form, where he ended up documenting more than 100 contacts with foreign officials. The idea of Kushner stepping down came up briefly in May, according to a source, and it was ultimately scrapped. The source said he had no knowledge if the president was apprised of the recommendation. Trump's lawyer, John Dowd, says, "I didn't agree with that view at all. I thought it was absurd. I made my views known." But the White House denied any discussions.
No conversation that I'm aware of, and certainly no presentation, as both the president's attorneys have gone on record to say.
Meanwhile, there are new reports on the role of Russia and Facebook in alleged election meddling. The Daily Beast reports that Russian operatives used fake Facebook accounts to promote political protests, like this anti-Muslim rally. Facebook tells the Daily Beast it eventually shut down the pages, and it's unclear if the events actually happened. Facebook did not reveal this days ago when it disclosed it sold about $100,000 worth of advertising to so-called Russian troll farms, likely operated out of Russia during the election. Facebook eventually shut those accounts down.
We're seeing more evidence of additional ads and how they are used to manipulate individuals. I think there's one of the reasons why we need to bring in Facebook, Twitter, and others in some level of public hearing.